Hello, welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be talking about how to keep your silk pressed hair or your straightened hair stretched for as long as possible. I just put out a video doing the opposite as to why you should not be trying to stretch your silk press. So those same rules apply, guys. My recommendation is still do not go past the 10-day mark. My time frame for me personally is 7 to 10 days. After day 14, everything just goes downhill. 7 to 10 days is the sweet spot. So how do we keep our hair soft, smooth, shiny, silky, and gorgeous for 7 to 10 days? I got 5 tips for you, and they're super simple. Number 1, preparation before you start your silk press. Begin with clean, moisturized hair. Great shampoo and a great conditioner. Boom, done. And part of that comes with knowing to detangle gently and correctly. Know when to use your wide tooth comb, know when to use a regular comb, and by regular I mean a comb just for like parting, and then know when to use your fine tooth comb. You should not be using your fine tooth comb or your regular combs to detangle your hair. Use your wide tooth comb, use your finger. And the last part of number 1 is applying a great heat protectant spray. Add a leave-in moisturizer too. I like to add a bond builder or a restructurizer as well, but make sure you have a great heat protectant spray. Number 2 is a proper silk press technique. This takes time to learn. I'm not going to kid you. It has taken a very long time to perfect my hair straightening routine, how I hold a straightener, how long I hold it in each section of my hair, how many passes, all of that. But it's not impossible. To begin, you want to make sure you're dividing your hair into sections, your entire head. For me, I like to do 4 big sections, so a part down the middle, a part down the side. Clip these 2 sections, clip this section, and then I'm starting all on the back. I always work from back to the front. You can do front to the back, whatever you prefer. I just do from back to the front, and then I make sure all those sections are portioned off in a way and are not going to fall. Then I'll further section my hair off. You're using thin, small rows. I prefer like a rectangle kind of shape for your parting rather than like a square shape, just so you can make sure you can get the plaits in and grasp the root as best as possible. Compared to if you're doing like a square, bulkier section, the hair that's like in the middle of where your square would be isn't getting hit as well from the hair straightener. So I would just suggest a thin rectangle sections, maybe an inch, half an inch, depending on how thick your hair. You want to make sure your hair sits perfectly within the plates of the hair straightener. So you're picking your great temperature. Everybody's temperature needs are going to be different. I'm usually somewhere around like the 410 mark, 410 degrees mark, starting from the top, working my way down. So I've parted my hair off, I've sectioned my hair off, I'm taking the straightener and I'm grasping the hair very slowly, very gently, holding it at the roots for a couple seconds, letting the hair go because usually my fingers are then burning. And then I'm going to go in again from the roots all the way down to the ends, very slowly. Try not to move your hands around too much. Try not to move the straightener around too much. You want to make sure your hair doesn't fall outside of the plates. You want to make sure you're not causing any snags or tugging with the hair straightener as well. It's going to be your first pass. Slow all the way down, and then again one more time. I do one more pass, roots down to the ends. So my roots are always getting 2 to 3 passes, and the length of my hair is getting 2 passes. I can get away with 1 pass if I want. I personally prefer just to do 2 passes. You want to make sure you're not holding the plates on any specific section for too long. That's when your hair will start to dry out and fry. That's where you're going to get the heat damage from. So you want to make sure you're going slow, you're going consistent, but not too slow, and don't hold it in any one spot for too long. Number 3, maintaining your silk press. So there's a few things that I like to do with my hair at night in order to maintain my silk press. The biggest thing I will say for sure is I'm not obsessed. Now that I am the age I'm at and the hair journey I've gone through, I'm not obsessed with keeping bone straight hair. It is totally okay if you want to maintain your bone straightened hair, right? You've worked so hard or you've paid so much for it. It's totally understandable. But for me, I have become very comfortable with embracing a little bit of wave, a little bit of kink, a little bit of body and extra volume, and it doesn't stress me out. So I'll either do 2 braids or one braid, 4 braids. I'll do a low bun or like a medium height bun or a high bun. I'm using my satin do-rag or a satin scarf. I'm putting on a bonnet, and I'm using a satin pillowcase. This is going to be so important. Avoid unnecessary exposure to moisture. And by that I mean when you're going outside and if it's raining or snowing or there's just a lot of humidity in the air, have some tips and tricks to combat that type of exposure, whether that's you're keeping your hair wrapped up somehow before you reach your destination, or you're wearing a cap, or obviously walking with an umbrella, or putting a scarf over your head while you're going outside into those conditions. And then when it comes to showering, I personally find that the regular old school shower caps just aren't enough to cut it for me. I like to use multiple layers to ensure that no water's touching me and that the heat and steam are not going to make my cuticles swell up and get frizz. I like to put my hair up in a high bun, so I'll gather all my hair together, wrap it up in a high bun, secure it with a satin scrunchie, use my pink spa headband, the one that I use for when I am washing my face, wrap that around my head, and then I use my microfiber towel. So I wrap my head in the microfiber towel, make sure it's secured, there's no openings or edges exposed. And if I really want to be extra careful, then I can throw a shower cap or a plastic bag over. But literally just making sure your hair is up, not on your necks, away from your face, and then double layer of keeping the hair trapped under all that material makes it so I can have really great long hot showers, and the steam does not make my hair revert. Some may think this is excessive, but if you want to make it so your cuticles don't swell, you need to protect your hair when you're taking a shower. Also, dry shampoo. Dry shampoo is not for everybody. I own a bottle of dry shampoo. I have yet to ever use it. For me personally, I have more drier roots and scalp. So I feel like the dry shampoo would just exacerbate that. But if you're somebody whose roots and scalp get really greasy or really oily, or you feel like your roots are way down and you want to keep things really light and flowy and voluminous and fresh at the top of your head, dry shampoo is for you. Number 4 is products for longevity. So what do I mean? That's your serums and your oils to add shine, reduce frizz, and keep the cuticles smooth and soft and laying flat. Or like your light styling products that won't weigh your hair down or cause product buildup. And then try to avoid heavy creams or gels. For me, if I feel like my hair is dry, like mid-cycle, I'll apply a little bit of my Cantu Daily Oil Moisturizer very lightly. It can weigh my hair down, and it kind of does make the hair swell a little bit. So I have to be very cautious, and that's why I make sure to moisturize my hair really well right off the bat. Right after I am done conditioning my hair, I apply that Cantu Daily Oil Moisturizer from roots to ends, and straightening. The blow drying and straightening process locks that moisture in, and I'm usually good till I need to wash my hair again. And when it comes to gels, I've said this for a really long time, I am not a fan of gel. I have gel, and they're very like old bottles. I would consider them to be old now because I just never use them up. And when it comes to edge control, that's a whole other topic. I think I'll make a separate video about it. But I personally do not like any edge control or gels or doing anything to my edges, because over time it's just nasty product buildup right at the front of your face, and I find it disgusting. I hate seeing it start to get clumpy and white and chunky, and then you're washing your hair and then it's kind of like reactivating it, and then it's moving around, and it just makes the hairline, the perimeter of your face, first thing that people see, it just makes it look ick. And I also do not like my hair feeling rock stiff. It just gives me the thoughts that if I move the hair when it's rock stiff, it's gonna break. So I just don't like it. I rarely do my edges. I like this loose, fluffy baby hair type of look vibe. I think it makes me at least look really youthful, and I do not feel like I'm not polished or not finished or unsophisticated. I like it the way it is. Number 5 is touch up tips. I'm going to try to be very careful with this one. This one can be a little misconstrued. Even in my mind, it feels misconstrued to say. So let me give you a quick anecdote. I damaged the hell out of my hair when I was a teenager in high school because I continuously touched up my hair every single day before school. Instant breakage, instant damage. I would not suggest to do that. In the form that I would re-straighten all of my hair every single day, and it was not needed. But of course, life gets busy. Sometimes we don't sleep good. Sometimes we've had a busy day. We're not wrapping our hair or doing anything to preserve it at night. And we wake up and we're like, oh God, can't go on the road like that. So what are you gonna do to touch up your hair? I would suggest, first off, fully detangle, fully brush, then see what your hair looks like. Sometimes just the smoothing process from a really great brush, like a paddle brush, can help re-flatten out your hair. Cut back on that frizz. If you feel like any oils or serums is not enough to touch up the hair, then of course, if you really, really need to, grab your hair straightener. Do not re-straighten the entire head. I would suggest keep your hair laid down flat. And this is when I would say, don't do sections. Grab a chunk of your hair, brush, 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 and take all that hair and put it in the plates of the straightener and straighten that section. Boom, instant smoothness. Grab another thick section. So for me, it probably end up being like 10 sections for my entire head, and quick down, quick down, quick down, boom. The hair is touched up. It looks refreshed. Any waves or kinks that you may not like are now gone, and it looks great. And you can do that with the same hair straightener that you use to straighten your hair. Or I would suggest something like the Tymo hair straightener brush. That is also great. It's another heat tool, yes. Use it very lightly, very, very sparingly. And this is when you can once again use it in bigger sections, because you're not trying to put a lot of high direct heat on every single strand. And then you'll just end up with excessive heat damage in all of your head, and it's not necessary. So you can retouch with your straightener. You can retouch with something like the Tymo hair straightening brush. I am looking into getting something like the other Tymo hair brush, like a round brush, or the Wavy Talk round brush. Everybody's been going crazy on TikTok about that, so my eyes are on that. But once again, something like that is not every single day. That's just adding extra heat, and it's not necessary. And if your edges are looking a little bit wonky, then yeah, go ahead, use a little bit of edge control, use a little bit of gel. I have also tried just using my spray oil on my edges, not applying any extra heat, but just applying the oil directly to my edges, to my hairline, and giving it a nice smooth, and then wrapping it, like putting a headband on or something, for a quick 5 minutes, instantly smooths the hair back out. No heat needed. And that's it, my 5 points on how to stretch your silk press or straightened hair for as long as possible without causing any stress, mental stress, or causing any unnecessary heat damage. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Like, comment, share with somebody who you feel like is over straightening their hair. Let them know it's a no-no. I said so. And let me know if you like these chatty videos where I am just talking about hair stuff or giving tips. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.